key was it to take active roles not only in the ring but behind the scenes for all of you?
So Billy Corgan from the NWA and Smashing Pumpkins fame, of course, he and I had a discussion months and months and months ago where he gave me some really good advice. He just said, make sure as an artist that this all sounds great, but you're just meeting this party for the first time, and it all sounds good, but make sure you protect yourself as an artist. With All In, we were able to play our music like we wanted, and we were not micromanaged or regulated or censored. And that meant putting ourselves in a position, hey, well, if I'm going to protect myself as an artist, I'm going to need to have the ability to help the creative on the show and to brainstorm with these other, great men. And I'm going to need the ability to help draw and paint the picture. It's a collaboration, and a lot of people think wrestling collaborations don't work. I think this is going to be an example of one that works for many, many years.
You received advice from Billy. How did you meet and get involved with the Khan family and vice versa?
Well, so I've known Tony for a long time because Tony's a long-time wrestling fan, and I just knew him as a fellow wrestling fan and a Star Trek fan. We bond a lot we're big Trekkies, and that's not, you don't find a lot of Trek people out there. Today, they're all over again, but he's a big Trekkie. But I only knew him just as a friendly face at events. He can be seen in the sizzle reel of the New Japan shows in Long Beach in the front row cheering for Kenny Omega. And then, after my deal with ROH was done, and I was on the handshake with them, just finishing dates throughout Final Battle, I really got to know him as far as his ambition and what he does in the Jaguars organization and how wonderful of a ship he runs and his analytic background. And that's somebody I wanted to get in with, and because that's an experience I've never had. I was around my dad for so long. He was this artist and, cowboy, and then here's this businessman, and that's something I want to learn. I want to learn about my industry and the numbers and how they really work and how this gross is generated and just all this fun technical stuff that Tony's a master of. And it was really exciting to kind of to get under his wing for that, and then for him to come under our wing a little bit on the creative side of things. It's really like just this perfect match of genuinely good people who want to do good by the fans.
Cody, was there a moment with him and with the Khan family when you sat back and said, wow, this is going to happen?
Again, I play the pessimist, and Matt can tell you, I was always the one like, I don't know. As somebody who grew up in the business, I heard a lot of people say they wanted to start a wrestling company. The moment that I really think it set in with me that this is as real gets, and we need to prepare for that, is when I was able to see how he works in the Jaguars organization. I was a guest at a game, and got the tour of the facilities and got to see how he runs that franchise. I mean, think of the NFL. There's what a wonderful entity the NFL is, and I was blown away by that. And that was the moment I said, I could put my trust. I could put my trust here, and he can put his trust in us, and we can do something really special in wrestling.
From a business standpoint, generally speaking, were you intimidated at all in the first initial meetings with the Khan family?
Oh, no. Because I never want to be intimidated by any aspect of business. I think old school bully business is out the window. I think you're seeing that happen in entertainment. You're seeing it happen in sports. The old school management style of you rule with an iron fist, that's passe, and nobody buys into it anymore. And that's why I don't go into any meeting being intimidated. Doesn't mean I don't have hopes. Doesn't mean I don't have goals for how that meeting would go. But if you go into a meeting with any trepidation or fear, I think you're just shortchanging yourself. I mean, I took the jump from a sure gig years ago, and it's landed me into this position I'm in now that I couldn't have dreamed of then. So I had no fear then. There's no point in having any fear now.
When you look back now, how important was it for you to spend your time in WWE and also move on from WWE?
Well, I think it was a great place to grow up. I got into WWE at 20 years old and freaking 19 actually. It was just a wonderful place to grow up and make friends and get on television. And I actually thought I loved wrestling, and then when I started working with WWE, I realized, like, gosh, I love it even more. That's the most important part of it, the fan interaction. But I think it was important that I saw, value in myself and didn't buy into any type of company bubble. Even now, I don't believe in a company bubble. I believe in these